What if I told you that just 1 hour a day could completely transform your future? Not next year, not someday, but starting today. The secret isn't working harder. It's investing one focused hour in yourself every single day. Most people underestimate what they can accomplish in a year because they overestimate what they can accomplish in a day. They wake up every morning looking for a breakthrough, something dramatic, something life-changing. But success rarely arrives with a trumpet. It arrives quietly, disguised as daily discipline. Think about it for a moment. We all have the same 24 hours. The difference is not found in the amount of time we have. The difference is found in what we do with the time we have. Every day, people spend hours scrolling through their phones, watching television, worrying about problems, or talking about what they wish they could do. Then they wonder why their lives remain the same year after year. Now imagine setting aside just 1 hour every day for yourself. Not for entertainment, not for distraction. One focused hour dedicated to becoming a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more capable than you were yesterday. 1 hour reading books that challenge your thinking. 1 hour learning a valuable skill. 1 hour planning your goals. 1 hour improving your health. 1 hour working on a dream that you've been postponing for years. That single hour may not seem important today. In fact, after the first day, you may not notice any difference at all. After the first week, the changes may still be invisible. But that's the nature of success. The most powerful changes happen beneath the surface before they become visible to the world. A farmer does not plant seeds in the morning and expect a harvest by evening. He understands that growth takes time. He waters the soil, protects the field, and trusts the process. Personal growth works exactly the same way. Every hour you invest in yourself is a seed planted in the soil of your future. The challenge is that most people are looking for immediate rewards. They want results before they've earned them. But life doesn't work that way. The rewards come later. First comes the effort. First comes the investment. First comes the discipline. And here's what makes this idea so powerful. 1 hour a day is manageable. Almost anyone can find 1 hour. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need extraordinary talent. You don't need perfect conditions. You simply need a decision. A decision that says, for 1 hour each day, I will work on becoming the person I want to be. Over time, that hour begins to change how you think. It changes your confidence. It changes your skills. It changes your opportunities. And eventually it changes your entire life. Because the future is not created in a single dramatic moment. The future is created in the quiet hours when nobody is watching, when you choose growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, and purpose over excuses. 1 hour invested today can create a life you'll be proud of tomorrow. The question then becomes, what should you do with that hour? If 1 hour a day has the power to change your life, where should you invest it first? The answer is simple. Invest it in yourself. One of the greatest lessons you can ever learn is that your life improves only when you improve. Many people spend years trying to change their circumstances, trying to change other people, trying to change the economy, their boss, their neighborhood, or their luck. But lasting change begins when you decide to change yourself. Personal development is the foundation upon which every other success is built. Think about it this way. If someone handed you $1 million today, it would certainly change your bank account. But if you haven't developed the mindset, habits, and skills required to manage that wealth, chances are you'll eventually lose it. That's why becoming more valuable is always more important than simply acquiring more things. Success is not something you chase. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Every book you read expands your perspective. Every lesson you learn increases your value. Every new idea strengthens your ability to make better decisions. And better decisions create a better future. The interesting thing about personal development is that nobody can do it for you. Someone can teach you, encourage you, and inspire you, but nobody can grow for you. Growth is a personal responsibility. The moment you accept that responsibility, your life begins to move in a new direction. I often encourage people to become students for life. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. The world is changing too quickly for anyone to remain successful by relying only on what they learned years ago. The most successful people are constantly learning, constantly adapting, constantly searching for ways to become better. Imagine spending 1 hour every day reading books written by people who have already achieved what you want to achieve. Think about the advantage that gives you. You can learn from their victories without having to repeat all their struggles. You can gain decades of wisdom in a matter of months. And it isn't only about books. Personal development can come through listening to educational content, attending seminars, learning a new skill, improving your communication abilities, studying leadership, or developing your emotional intelligence. The method matters less than the commitment. The real goal is to become stronger on the inside than the challenges you face on the outside, because life will always present obstacles. There will always be setbacks, disappointments, and unexpected difficulties. The question is not whether challenges will come. The question is whether you will be prepared when they arrive. Personal development prepares you. It sharpens your thinking when others are confused. It strengthens your confidence when others are discouraged. It creates opportunities when others only see obstacles. And over time, as you continue investing in yourself day after day, you'll discover something remarkable. The person who once struggled with certain challenges is no longer the same person. You've grown, you've developed, you've become more capable. And when you become more capable, your results begin to reflect that growth. Work harder on yourself than you do on anything else, and your future will begin to work harder for you. Now, as you continue investing that hour in yourself and developing your knowledge, there is another principle you must understand. Knowledge alone is not enough. Information without action changes nothing. The true power lies in what you do consistently. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that success comes from a few big actions. They imagine that one great idea, one lucky break, or one extraordinary effort will completely transform their lives. But when you study successful people closely, you discover something different. Their success is usually the result of small actions repeated over a long period of time. The things that change your life rarely happen overnight. They happen little by little, day by day, choice by choice. A person doesn't become physically fit because of one workout. They become fit because they show up consistently. A person doesn't become financially successful because of one good month. They become successful through years of wise decisions. A person doesn't build confidence in a single afternoon. Confidence grows every time they keep a promise to themselves. That's why 1 hour a day is so powerful. Most people underestimate the value of a single hour because they only look at today's results. They don't look at the accumulated effect of that hour over months and years. 1 hour today may seem insignificant, but 1 hour every day becomes 7 hours a week, more than 30 hours a month, hundreds of hours every year. Think about that for a moment. While others are spending those hours drifting through life, you are building skills, strengthening your mindset, improving your habits, and creating a better future. The gap may be invisible at first, but eventually it becomes impossible to ignore. Success compounds. Just as money grows through compound interest, personal growth grows through consistent effort. Every lesson you learn makes the next lesson easier. Every habit you build strengthens your discipline. Every small victory increases your confidence. These improvements stack on top of one another until the results become extraordinary. The challenge is that consistency isn't exciting. Most people love the idea of success, but they struggle with the daily routine required to achieve it. They want immediate rewards for long-term goals. They want the harvest without the planting season. But life rewards consistency. The person who reads 10 pages every day eventually becomes highly knowledgeable. The person who saves a small amount every week eventually builds wealth. The person who practices a skill daily eventually becomes an expert. It isn't magic. It's simply the power of repetition. And here's something important to remember. You don't have to be perfect. There will be days when you're tired, days when you're discouraged, days when progress feels slow. That's normal. The goal is not perfection. The goal is persistence. Keep showing up. Keep investing the hour. Keep making the small choices that move you forward. Because every meaningful achievement is built the same way. One step at a time, one day at a time, one disciplined decision at a time. And one day you'll realize that the small actions you once thought were insignificant became the very things that transformed your life. Small daily actions, repeated consistently, create extraordinary results. As you begin to understand the power of consistent action, another important truth becomes clear. Your actions are guided by your thoughts. Before you change your life, you must first change the way you think. Every result you have today started as a thought. Every decision, every habit, every achievement, and every mistake was first created in the mind before it appeared in reality. That's why one of the most valuable ways to spend your daily hour is by developing the habit of thinking better. Most people spend more time worrying about their future than planning it. They spend more time thinking about their problems than searching for solutions. They allow negative circumstances to dominate their thoughts, and then they wonder why they struggle to move forward. The mind is like a garden. If you don't plant something valuable, weeds will grow automatically. Negative thoughts, doubts, fears, excuses, and limitations have a way of appearing on their own. Positive thinking, however, requires cultivation. It requires intention. It requires daily effort. That's why successful people are careful about what they allow into their minds. They understand that thoughts eventually become actions. Actions become habits. Habits become character. And character ultimately determines destiny. If you spend your days focused on what you can't do, you'll find reasons to stay where you are. If you spend your days focused on what is possible, you'll begin to discover opportunities that others overlook. The difference often isn't intelligence. The difference isn't talent. The difference is perspective. Two people can face the same challenge and produce completely different outcomes because they think about the situation differently. One sees an obstacle. The other sees an opportunity to grow. One sees failure. The other sees feedback. One gives up. The other keeps moving forward. The circumstances may be identical, but the thinking is different. This is why I encourage people to spend part of their daily hour reflecting on their lives. Ask yourself meaningful questions. Where am I today? Where do I want to go? What habits are helping me? What habits are holding me back? What can I improve tomorrow? Those questions may seem simple, but they have the power to transform your future. Clarity is a tremendous advantage in life. Many people drift through years without a clear destination. They hope things will improve, but hope without direction rarely produces results. The person who regularly thinks, plans, reflects, and evaluates gains an enormous advantage because they are living intentionally rather than accidentally. And something remarkable happens when you begin training your mind this way. You become less controlled by circumstances and more controlled by purpose. Challenges no longer stop you as easily. Criticism affects you less. Temporary setbacks lose their power because you've developed a stronger way of thinking. The quality of your life is closely connected to the quality of your thoughts. Better thinking leads to better decisions. Better decisions lead to better actions. Better actions create better results. And when you dedicate 1 hour each day to strengthening your mind, you'll discover that the greatest transformation isn't happening around you. It's happening within you. Champion your thinking, and you begin to change your entire life. Once you begin improving your thinking, something interesting starts to happen. You begin to see opportunities that were always there, but went unnoticed. You start to realize that success is not simply about working harder. It's about becoming more valuable. This is one of the most important principles you can ever understand. The marketplace rewards value. Whether you're an employee, a business owner, a freelancer, or an entrepreneur, your rewards in life are often connected to the value you bring to other people. Many people spend years wishing for a better income, a better career, or greater opportunities. Yet they rarely stop to ask an important question. What am I becoming? Because income rarely exceeds personal value for very long. If you want more from life, the answer is not to wish for more. The answer is to become more. That's why 1 hour a day invested in mastering valuable skills can completely change your future. Think about any successful person you've ever admired. Behind their achievements is usually a collection of skills that they've spent years developing. They learned how to communicate effectively. They learned how to solve problems. They learned how to lead people. They learned how to negotiate, manage time, handle pressure, and create value. Those abilities didn't appear by accident. They were developed one day at a time. The good news is that skills can be learned. You don't have to be born with exceptional talent. You don't have to come from the perfect background. You don't need special advantages. What you need is the willingness to dedicate time each day to improving your capabilities. Perhaps you spend your hour learning communication skills. The ability to clearly express ideas can open doors that technical knowledge alone cannot. Perhaps you study leadership. The ability to inspire and influence others creates opportunities in every profession. Perhaps you learn sales, marketing, technology, public speaking, financial management, or problem solving. Every valuable skill you acquire increases your ability to contribute and succeed. And here's what's remarkable about skill development. Unlike money, nobody can take it away from you. Economic conditions may change. Companies may come and go. Industries may evolve. But the skills you develop become part of who you are. They travel with you wherever you go. The challenge is that many people wait until opportunity arrives before they prepare themselves. But successful people prepare before opportunity appears. They spend their quiet hours learning. They spend their free time improving. They invest in themselves long before the rewards become visible. Then when opportunity finally arrives, they are ready. Imagine where you could be 1 year from now if you devoted just 1 focused hour every day to mastering a valuable skill. Imagine the confidence you would gain. Imagine the opportunities you would create. Imagine how different your future could look simply because you decided to improve rather than remain the same. Remember, life does not pay you for your time alone. Life tends to reward the value you bring with that time. The more valuable you become, the more valuable your opportunities become. And when you commit to mastering skills that matter, you're not just building a better career, you're building a better future. Increase your value and the world will increase its rewards. As we bring all of these ideas together, we arrive at perhaps the most important lesson of all. The ultimate purpose of that 1 hour each day is not merely to achieve more. It is to become more. Many people spend their lives chasing success, believing that happiness, fulfillment, and achievement exist somewhere outside themselves. They think the next promotion, the bigger house, the larger bank account, or the perfect opportunity will finally change everything. But over the years, I've learned something remarkable. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. That changes the entire conversation. Because if success is attracted rather than chased, then your greatest investment isn't in a business, a stock, or even a career. Your greatest investment is in yourself. Every dream you have requires a certain version of you to achieve it. The future you desire demands greater discipline, greater wisdom, greater patience, greater confidence, greater character. And the question is not whether your dreams are possible. The question is whether you're becoming the person capable of turning those dreams into reality. This is why that 1 hour each day matters so much. When you read, you're not just gaining information. You're becoming wiser. When you practice discipline, you're not just completing a task. You're strengthening your character. When you develop new skills, you're not just increasing knowledge. You're expanding your potential. When you improve your thinking, you're not just changing your mindset. You're changing the direction of your life. Little by little, day by day, you are becoming someone different. And that's where true transformation occurs. Most people focus on goals. Goals are important because they give us direction. But goals alone are not enough. What matters even more is the person you become while pursuing those goals. A goal may help you earn $1 million. But the person you become while earning it is far more valuable than the money itself. A goal may help you build a successful business. But the discipline, leadership, resilience, and wisdom you develop along the way are treasures that stay with you forever. Life has a fascinating way of rewarding growth. As you become more disciplined, opportunities appear. As you become more knowledgeable, solutions become clearer. As you become more confident, challenges become smaller. As you become more valuable, your rewards begin to increase. And none of this happens by accident. It happens because you made a simple decision. A decision to dedicate 1 hour a day to your growth when most people chose distraction. A decision to invest in your future when others postponed theirs. A decision to become stronger, wiser, and better than you were yesterday. Years from now, people may look at your success and assume it happened suddenly. They'll see the results, but not the thousands of quiet hours that created them. But you'll know the truth. You'll know that your future changed the moment you began changing yourself. And it all started with 1 hour a day. Give yourself one focused hour every day. And one day you'll meet the person you've always had the potential to become. Before we finish, I want you to think about where you'll be 1 year from today. 1 year from today is coming whether you're ready for it or not. The days will pass. The weeks will pass. The months will pass. The question is not whether time will move forward. The question is whether you will move forward with it. A year from now, you can be living the same life, facing the same frustrations, making the same excuses, and wondering why nothing changed. Or you can be stronger, wiser, more disciplined, more confident, more skilled, closer to your dreams than you've ever been before. The difference between those two futures may be as small as 1 hour a day, 1 hour spent learning instead of scrolling, 1 hour spent building instead of complaining, 1 hour spent growing instead of drifting. Never underestimate the power of small daily investments. Great lives are not built in a single day. Great lives are built day by day. The future you want is hidden inside the habits you practice today. Remember, success is not an event. It is a process. Personal growth is not a destination. It is a lifelong journey. And the person you become is always more important than the things you acquire. So starting today, make a commitment to yourself. Protect that hour. Guard it carefully. Treat it as an appointment with your future. Because every page you read, every skill you learn, every goal you write down, every disciplined choice you make is shaping the person you are becoming. Years from now, people may look at your success and ask, what changed? And you'll be able to smile and tell them the truth. Nothing changed overnight. I changed 1 hour at a time. Your future is being created right now in the choices you make today. Give yourself one focused hour every day. And one day that hour will give you a life you once thought was impossible. Thank you. And may this be the day you begin becoming the person you were meant to be.